Hi, I'm Old Sneelock. Welcome to another episode of Old Sneelock's Workshop. Now it has a good solid handle on it. The only thing wrong with it is it has varnish on this handle. Now, the varnish may make it look nice, but that varnish is miserable stuff on your hands. Hand sliding up and down that varnish is going to grab and it's going to give you blisters. But if you take a scraper, it'll take that varnish off just slicker than snot. And it leaves it smooth. Smoother than you're going to get it with 120 grit sandpaper or 220. Because it's slicing, it's not scraping or gouging holes in it and breaking the surface. It's slicing. With all the varnish scraped off of it, now I can put on the elixir of life, boiled linseed oil. This goes on and seals the wood keeping it from splintering and getting those pock marks that grab a hold of your fingers and stick splinters into you. I have to mix up another batch of this stuff. My jar's getting low. Might want to change out jars. That jar's getting pretty sticky too. It's getting hard to get the cap off. Now, as soon as that's dry, I will give it a coat of this Boston polish wax. My mom used to build furniture. She would buy kits and assemble them, not necessarily cut the wooden pieces, but she loved to put them together. She would varnish them and then she'd put this butcher's Boston polish amber paste wax on it. Well, when she passed, I inherited the can of wax, and it was mostly full by then. Well, it's empty now. And I went for quite a while trying to find a substitute. I couldn't find any more of this Butcher's Boston Polish. The company wasn't there anymore. Then I found this. This is the Boston Polish Wax. Made by the BWC Company, San Jose, California. This was made by the Butcher Company, Marlboro, Maryland. Which is why I was having trouble. I couldn't find the Boston Polish Company, the Butcher's Company. This is BWC. This is Butcher's. If you find a can of this, it's still good stuff. As long as the cover's on it, it'll last forever. But since I used it all up, I now got this, and it works just as good. It's exactly the same stuff. So when this dries out, I'll give it a coat of this Butcher Boston Amber Paste Wax, and that'll make it so that the handle slides through your hands without making any blisters. So I'm going to let this dry for a little bit. I left the hammer handle down here in the basement to dry, and that was about 3 o'clock in the afternoon. When I came down to check on it, it just wasn't drying. So about 7 o'clock, I took it out in the garage, which it was 92 degrees out yesterday, so the garage was plenty warm. And now the blow is dried out really nicely. This good coat of wax makes all the difference. When I ran out of the Boston Polish Amber Paste Wax from my mom, I couldn't find any more of it, so I ended up using this Min Wax, finishing wax. It actually works pretty good. This stuff just feels right. Now a 10-pound sledge, that's a pretty hefty chunk of iron. With the wax on this handle, it has kind of a grip to it, but it doesn't stick to your hands. It won't make a blister. So, this sledgehammer is done now. I think I'm going to work on an axe next. Picked this one up for $9. 36-inch straight single bit axe handle. And it needs to have a little work done to it because it's kind of rough. But I think it's going to turn out well. This axe was used, but it wasn't abused. Usually you find these axes with this part right here all chopped up where somebody is swinging it and misses. But it looks like somebody took good care of this one. Just needs to have the head tightened up a little bit on it, and I might do a little polish on this head. just wire brushed off this stamped in logo. It's a Craftsman. Made in USA, steel trademark. You can tell somebody used this one that had some sense to them. This pawl, almost all of them that I find are dinged up where somebody used it as a hammer to pound on things. This one's straight and square. No nicks, dings, or marks in it. The blade is in good shape too. I think it was used and taken care of. It's almost sharp. So, I'll go ahead and clean this one up and show you how I did it. If you have any suggestions for a new video, questions about today's video, or any of the other videos on the channel, just drop a note in the comments. You know I read them all. Thanks for watching.
This video is not to be viewed by anyone under the age of 13 in the U.S. or 16 in the European Union, without the express written permission of the parents or legal guardians of the underage person. Such written permission must be on file at the local government entity in charge of enforcing the rules and regulations established by the FTC. Anyone violating these terms is admitting by default that they hold harmless the owners and operators of this channel. Any and all questions should be addressed to your local branch of the FTC.